Market expert Prakash Diwan joins us. Hi Prakash, you heard what Agam had to say. Well, the CV space, it appears like a bit of a bright spot. How do you read these numbers and, would you look to buy any of these stocks?
Good afternoon, Nigel. So I fully am in sync with the fact that, anytime the economy stocks, world economy stocks start doing well, it's followed immediately without too much of a lag by improvement in CV sales numbers. It's obvious. You'll have construction activity, you'll have capital goods movement, you'll have mining. All of that is likely to kind of start giving a fillip to particularly to the MHCV segment, not so much on the LCV side. And the other thing which is very heartening is the cost of the way we saw some of the commentary from Shriram Transport, Chola some time back. Even the second-hand pre-owned market is abuzz. So it's the smaller operators who are finding it difficult given the steep hike in fuel costs and all. But the larger ones are just kind of consolidating. So there will be a shake-off in the industry also. The fleet operator side will probably see a big change where the larger ones become even larger. So you will see all of that, and once that is stable, you'll probably see a very strong trend on the fresh purchases of CVs as well, Nigel. So that's bound to happen. My sense is any revival in the auto numbers, and some of them do indicate, like Ashok Leyland was way better than what we had anticipated, is probably happening sooner than later, and that's because the percentage of electronic instrumentation components in CVs is not as high as in PVs, right? So the semiconductor shortages there would be some ways around that which these manufacturers would have managed. Continue to be quite positive on that. Whether I'm going to buy in Ashok Leyland or a Tata Motors, not yet, because I think the delta is going to be much more promising on the passenger side, and from that perspective, I think Maruti is probably ripe for a turnaround of sorts anytime. And within the next 6 months, you'll probably see a significant change in the trajectory for the business as well.
If we just look at the intraday chart of BHEL, that stock is at the high point of the day right now, 8.5% higher on that stock, 8.6% higher on that one. So big move happening here. Prakash, good afternoon. Any thoughts here, or is it just one of those random moves which will fizzle out?
Good afternoon, Anuj. So, today is a day where power stocks, particularly with government ownership as an element, are actually doing very well. I mean, there's a scramble for all of those names. There's no reason why BHEL would probably miss that scramble of sorts. So people will probably lap it up. But look at where we are getting, Anuj. I mean, we very clearly are being told that the demand for power is going to come back. It has come back with a vengeance. I mean, you have a scorching summer around the corner. It's already taken off in places like Bombay and all. And you would probably see a lot of industrialization start picking up pace. Now, if that were to happen, and then, for instance, there's talk about Gujarat government talking to industries to keep one day off because of power cuts. Now, if that has not been heard of for a long time, and which means that the power producer, distribution, all of that will start seeing a little bit of a capex cycle coming back and trickling out. So that's where the NTPCs and BHELs of the world will benefit. But if you want to play it a bit smartly, I think apart from Tata Power, which has so many other vectors that we keep on talking about, particularly on the renewable side and the deleveraging side, I think CESC as a name is also something which is quite promising, Anuj. It's been ignored. There have been some confusion around it, some apprehensions around the tariff arrangement that they had with the West Bengal government. But apart from all of those tailwinds, I think it's poised for a re-rating, and it will probably start getting its due very soon. So I would put my money onto a dark horse like that at this point in time, where power as a sector is getting completely re-understood and reset.
Prakash, and hearing anything on Bandhan Bank? I mean, some chatter that the microfinance business and numbers will come up pretty strong. We get monthly updates as well, but this is basically the full quarter we're talking about. Any thoughts, Bandhan or any other name there?
Good afternoon, Prashant. So I do know what you are alluding to, but it's something which has even in the past disappointed at times. I mean, the expectation build up has always been very promising, and then some of the things that the numbers when they are released or they kind of get shared don't probably add up in terms of that whole strength and salience. So what Bandhan is probably undergoing is a metamorphosis or a transformation that needs to be at a granular level and more at a structural level. The way they have grown their MFI business, whereas the SFB is something which probably was something much more profitable for them to grow. That's the combination of the mix that they have. I think if they were to get that right, then things will change for that bank dramatically. And then, the view is divided, and that's why you get it at a lower valuation. It's not something where everybody has the same view and is saying, I'm willing to pay a higher premium for it, and hence the valuations get richer. In this case, the valuations do have that softness because of the divided view. But I'm of the belief that it will probably take more convincing to buy into it. There are far more better opportunities in the NBFC or in the banking BFSI space as a whole, Prachand, at this point in time. Play safe, go with the larger banks. I think you can't go wrong given the capex cycle that's underway. I would recommend that people stick to the larger banks like ICICI and probably Axis now, given the kind of strength that they are likely to get. But otherwise, I'll keep a little bit of a closer watch on Bandhan, but not put in money yet.
Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take a break on that note. The market's still doing quite well. Even Hero MotoCorp has recovered actually quite a bit from the lowest point of the day, and so many stocks trading at high point of the day. NTPC really is your stock of the day today from the large caps, 5.5% higher on that one. BPCL as well surging. We'll take a break. Once we come back, we'll have Prakash, of course, will continue with a couple of more stock calls, and Anshu Sehgal of Kotak PMS will also join us.